by the title below.
Welcome back to the Queen's Jinx channel. I appreciate everybody coming back today. We don't have many of these shows left for the Queen's Brûlant, aka the Canadian Premier League Prediction Show, aka the show where we do not pick draws. So before we get into today's predictions, I wanted to say good luck to Forge on Wednesday as they take on Montreal in the Canadian Championship. If you haven't seen my video on the Canadian Championship prediction, I actually did pretty well. I predicted 3 of the 4 final teams in the to go to the finals. You know, in a way, I'm kind of rooting for Forge and Toronto FC. That'd be kind of a cool little matchup. But nonetheless, I have Forge and Pacific in the finals in my predictions, so that might come true. Who knows? I guess we'll see. But good luck to Forge nonetheless. And so that said, last week wasn't that good for our prediction show. It was our first ever losing week, which I guess if we've made it this far without a losing week, we did pretty well. But last week was hard, and I even mentioned to my buddy Adam, who does a lot of these videos with me, that last week I could have seen every one of my picks being right, or I could have seen every one of my picks being wrong. But that said, I did get more wrong than I got right, so we'll see if we can do better this week. So on Tuesday, which at the time recording this video is tomorrow, we have Valor and Halifax, Valor being the home team. This is a 4th place and a 6th place matchup. Morelli has not scored in the month of October, and I don't think that's going to keep going. I do think he's going to get some goals in this game. The Valor goalkeeper may take over the league leader in saves, which that's impressive, but at the same time, I don't know if it's something to be proud of or not, because it does show how your back line is. But that said, Halifax has a lot to fight for in this game, as they currently have the 4th spot and they're just trying to hold off York. I don't think Valor is mathematically eliminated, but if they lose this game or get a draw in this game, I believe they are mathematically eliminated. And I do think that will happen, as I think Halifax will beat Valor at home. Our second game on Tuesday is Pacific Football Club at home against FC Edmonton. Pacific FC needs this game to take over the top of the table again. And FC Edmonton is kind of the exact opposite scenario. They're fighting to not finish at the very bottom of the table, as they're currently in last, although they do have 2 games less played than Ottawa. That said, I think Pacific has way too much to fight for, and I don't think Edmonton has much of anything to fight for. They're probably at the point where they're going to be trying some new tactics for next year, maybe trying some new players. That said, I think Pacific FC wins this, and I'm so confident in that. That is my Brûlant lock of the week. So Saturday we have 3 games. The first matchup, we have Forge at home against Halifax. To me, this is an interesting matchup. They did just play, and they ended up with a draw, I believe, last week. However, Halifax is not at home. Forge is. I think that changes the dynamic a little bit, and plus Forge is in a really interesting spot. They're in the CONCACAF Championship. They're in the Canadian Championship. They're trying to fight for this first spot in the Canadian Premier League. So, a lot could happen here. I'm picking Forge because they're the home team, and because I don't know. I just feel like they want it. I feel like they're going to want to get that top spot. And realistically, if any game is going to end in a draw, I think it's going to be this one. But again, we don't pick draws here, so I'm going with Forge. My confidence level on that one is at an all-time low for this week. So moving on to Cavalry and Valor. This is also an interesting one. The Cavs have a lot to play for as well, as a win here. If Pacific does beat FC Edmonton, like I assume, a win here will give Cavalry the top spot again. And, my research has shown that Valor has never actually beaten the Cavs. So I don't think that starts here, just because of the magnitude of this game. I think the Cavs are going to win this one. Although I don't think they're going to blow them out, because Valor, I do like their hustle players, but there's just too much on the line here. And to round out the week, we have Pacific FC and York United. These are the 2 highest scoring teams in the league. History shows this is always a good game whenever these 2 meet up. It's it's going to be a tough one because York is currently in that 5th spot, and they seem to be a little stagnant. It seems like they never do enough to win the game, but they never quite do enough to really lose the game either. Pacific has been very streaky lately as well. This is a tough one as well. If I'm ranking them, this is my second least confident game, but I'm going to pick Pacific FC because they are at home and because of what's probably going to be at stake again at this home game. So I'm going with Pacific. So that said, that's my 5 predictions for this week. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you don't agree with. Anybody to look out for, as always, let me know. Hey, we're rounding out the year. We only have a few episodes left, and I appreciate everybody that keeps coming back to watch these shows. So that said, I hope everybody has an amazing week. Good luck at all the clubs this week. Everybody stay safe.